Hey, y'all not gonna believe that. We got this NFL player, old NFL player, the one everybody's talking about him. He said that Beyonce was sitting next to him at one of them parties and tried to get him to get turned on by little girls and little boys, girl. Yes, he is telling the story and everybody and their mama is talking about it. So you know I have to bring the video up here so we can react to. You guys got to hear it from the horse's mouth. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe here at the Messy Sweet Spot. Now let's hear what's going on.
When Jay was going after B was a very young woman. Now, I did a Roccawear photo shoot in Colorado, and I think it was during the winter time of 06 or 07. And Naomi Campbell was there, actress Jamie King was there, Jay was there, B was there, and he rented this house, and we were supposed to do this rap party for this photo shoot. We rented this house, and we were watching LeBron play, and after the game, it had to have been like 10 or 11 o'clock. So we getting ready to party. Mind you, it's all adults. There was a 13-year-old or a 14-year-old teenage Latin girl that was there, and I think she had to leave because she had school and she had to do homework, but she brought her mother with her. So it was no funny business going on, which I could respect that. So when 11 o'clock hit, we turned on the music, we started drinking, and then out of nowhere came these young children. I don't know where they came from. For a rap party at 11 o'clock at night, drinking, loud music, and us dancing wild. Like, I don't know where these kids came from. And then I happened to sit down because I was dancing with one of the assistants. And I sat next to this child, and the child sat next to Beyonce. So I hear B say something about, doesn't this look sexy? Or isn't this sexy? And in my mind, and mind you, I'm not awakened as I'm awakened now. So in my mind, I'm like, what did she just say? And then I didn't pay no attention to it. And then, you know, obviously the liquor took hold of me and I had to leave. So I said bye to everybody and left. But those kids remained. I don't know if those kids were from the photo shoot themselves, but the fact that these kids came around adults during drinking hours or partying hours was already alarming to me. So when I hear something like this happens, I can't really discount it and say, oh, he could never do this. Because I'm hearing stories, I'm seeing it with my own eyes, and I've been in situations where something don't sound or look right, and it's usually involving children.
Larry, you've just blown my mind, and so I'm gonna have to ask you to, I just wanna be clear on what I just heard. In 2006 or 7,
yeah,
you're in Colorado at a winter party with Jay Z and the people with Rock Nation. And
it was the people who helped out with the photo shoot. It was a winter campaign that we shot. Mm-hmm.
And it's at some very nice mansion somewhere in Colorado.
Yeah, up in the mountains somewhere.
And Beyonce is sitting relatively close to you, and there's a child there.
Yes.
And this is after 11 o'clock at night, and she says, "Doesn't this look sexy?"
Mm-hmm. Girl.
Beyonce, the singer.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Yes, yes.
And the reason why I believe you, I'm not gonna put a name to this. The reason why I believe you is like they get you out there and they float little test bubbles out there to see if you bite. Mm-hmm. It's like going fishing. Does the bob, did I get a nibble? Did the bobber go down? Because I've been in that situation. I'm not gonna name names, but it was a prominent sports media figure that I had a social gathering at my apartment in downtown LA, Apex building. Probably 20 people inside my apartment. And someone tried to engage me in a conversation about, can't you understand why older men find 14 and 15-year-old women attractive? And I was like, no, I really can't. And then they followed back up, and I was like, and then I just walked away, and I made a mental note like, hey, this person is on some different shit, quite frankly. And I was like, and I kept, and it shocked me because I wasn't expecting this from this person, and it's always stuck with me. And you know, I would elaborate and give a few more details, but it would potentially give away the person if I gave any more details. but it was just like a test, and I can remember like, yeah, I just failed that test. And so whatever they got going on out here in LA, and they trying to figure out if they can get me in some kind of conversation about whether I was attracted to 14 and 15-year-old women, I just failed that test. So I don't think you're lying or exaggerating. I think that is real out there in Hollywood. It's part of the reason why I left Los Angeles. And Larry, to me, it's like you've watched the Godfather 2 movies, mafia movies, and what the music industry in Hollywood is much like the mafia. It's like the Sopranos in terms of you can't become a made man until you killed somebody in the mafia. You gotta make your bones. And it sounds to me in Hollywood. And in the music industry, if you want to make it to the top, you must be involved in some sort of sexual deviancy before and they must know about it before they fully trust you. Do you agree with that?
I absolutely agree, because we all know how shameful it is to be messing around with a child, no matter what the age. And they know that the majority of the people in this country or in this world do not sit by and will not let anybody abuse children. So that's more of a shame thing they can control you with. Now, sacrificing somebody, that's personal. You know, not many people can add those or connect those dots of who did what and who did this, but it happens. But when it comes to sexual deviancy, as you said, it's more of we don't want the whole world to know what you've really been up to, so you have to do what we say do. And I think that's how they move. And like you said, I think it's like putting a worm on a hook. They see who bite. They're not gonna come up to you and say, hey, you like 5-year-olds? They're not gonna do that because you look at them weird, or you might just punch them in the mouth. But they'll put you in situations where if young children are around, they'll move you into it. It may not be a 5-year-old, but it'll start at a 19-year-old at a party. It'll go from a 15-year-old at a party. Then you show up at somebody's private home and residence, and it's like a 9-year-old. And then they keep going to see how far you can go. And I don't want to imagine it, but I know they're going as far as they can go until they get into animals. And I know when it comes to sexual deviancy and it comes to lust, there is no backstop to that until you reach an animal. And that's where, if we talk about the days of Noah, that's exactly where sexual deviancy ends up. It ends up with animals.
The other element, and this is because I used to drink and I used to smoke a little weed. But at some point I came into an awareness like, oh man, if you go look at most of the mistakes I've made in my life, alcohol was involved. And it's like they get you, and this thing about LA, they get you at these parties, get some liquor in you, get some weed that may be laced with something, maybe they spike your drink. And then it's like when Beyonce says, doesn't that look sexy? Well, your inhibitions are down. Your self-control is down because they got the liquor, the drugs in you. And the next thing you know, you're doing things you wouldn't do sober, and they just happen to have a camera on it and pictures of it. And then they have you for the rest of your life. Right. And that's what I see. I mean, I just, not to go to, but it's just like, I look at the dude, Baby from Cash Money. I'm like, he's kissing all these dudes in the mouth, and he got this prison mentality. And I was just like, all these guys, they're not in control. They accept the money, and then they promote the wickedness. It's very, once your scales come off your eyes, it's so easy to see. And I'm glad you connected it to the Bible, because that would be the last thing I would want to bring up. It's like, if you look at the story of Moloch and just how child sacrifice, Leviticus, just go to Leviticus, child sacrifice, it's always been a part of the devil's plan. And again, that's why the Bible will tell you there's nothing new. We keep thinking all this stuff is brand new. No, man, they've had different forms of this since the beginning.
It is sick. It is sick. Comment, let us know what you guys think about this. You are at the Message Sweet Spot, and like I said, we're going to be all on them like white on rice. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, and make sure you leave a comment and get the likes up and the subscription up. Come on now. What we waiting on? And I'll see y'all on another video. Bye.